Hey again, y'all. This is Stephanie McBride, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Aromatouch Technique Kit, which is a kit that was curated by doTERRA. So it's a little different than my other kits that I curated, including the Pregnancy Self Care Kit and the Labor and Postpartum Kit. And one of the big differences here is that you can't take oils out of this kit like you can with the other kits, because this one is actually bundled and you have a little bit of savings on the cost of membership. So if you're not already a wholesale member of doTERRA and you buy this kit, then you get your membership included and bundled into the cost. You can also get your membership with the other two kits I talk about, but you do have to pay a $35 fee, US dollar fee for that. So anyway, there's a little bit of advantage to getting a kit like this, but you do lose a little bit of the specific use that I have because I've handpicked all those other oils. But these oils are great too. This is a really nice one. So I'm going to go over them just pretty briefly. Just keep in mind there's so many more uses that I'm talking about, and you will learn about those with my book and my educational email series that you can sign up for my website, and also in my e-course, of course, where I go into a lot of depth about individual oils. So the first oil in this kit is called Balance, and Balance is also called the grounding oil. It's just what it says. It's really helpful for stress, for troubled sleep. It can be used throughout maternity, and it's a really nice one to just have in your arsenal. The second one is lavender, which I don't even think I have to make any argument for. Everyone knows lavender is great for stress and sleep and skin. It's also really good during labor, for labor pain, back pain. It's good for headaches. It's just such a nice, important oil to have. And when your kiddos grow up, you can actually, with this quality of oil, put it directly into open wounds, use it for burns. Really handy. The next oil is Melaleuca, and Melaleuca is also called tea tree. And this one I put into diaper rash blends. For infants, we use about a tablespoon of diaper cream or another kind of carrier oil like coconut oil, and we mix only 1 drop of essential oil total for use with babies. So you don't need very much of it, but it's really great for things like cord care, any kind of like skin weirdness. You can use this for their thrush, things like that. Then we have On Guard. On Guard is good for colds. It's good for diffusing for house cleaning. It's used in a lot of cleaning products and toothpaste and things like that. It does have some pretty harsh oils in it for pregnancy, so I recommend that you save it mostly for postpartum and use it with precaution during pregnancy. But it is an amazing smelling oil that I raised my kids on, and the first year I used it, I know my kindergartner did not miss one day of school for being sick. Like, it really is that good. Another one that we have in the kit is called Aromatouch, and this one was made for massage. And who doesn't want lots of massage during pregnancy? It's just an easy blend to pick up for muscular aches and tension, and that can be used throughout pregnancy and labor, delivery, postpartum. The next one is called Deep Blue, and it's also called Blue Ice in Europe, I believe. And this one's good for after pains, postpartum body aches, really any kind of circulation pain, bruising, that kind of thing. It's really helpful for. It does have methyl salicylate, which is similar to aspirin, and there's a lot of like concern and precaution about thinning the blood too much and other issues during pregnancy. So it is something that's across the board we're told to use caution with during pregnancy. So I usually just use something like peppermint lavender blend during pregnancy, and then once you're in labor and postpartum, then switch to deep blue or blue ice. And that's just me being on the safety side, which I tend to be. All right, finally, we have 2 more. Wild orange is an oil that I would use to support jaundice for babies and also sadness, and it's very uplifting. It's also good for swollen ankles and things like that. Peppermint is the last oil in this kit, and it is good for brain fog. It's so good for brain fog, but also for energy, for indigestion, for weaning a baby, for nausea, morning sickness, nausea during labor. I would use a precaution here as well for nursing moms. It can decrease breast milk, and that happens in about 50% of women who use it in postpartum. So those are the oils. You can see that they're good at different times during pregnancy, and they also, just to point out, they come in 5 milliliter bottles, which is a little smaller. It's a third the size of the 15 milliliters, which are in the other kits. So do keep that in mind, but check this kit out. It's incredible. And if you need any help, let me know. I'm here to help you. Hi, y'all. I'm Stephanie McBride, and I wanted to share with you a little bit of information about why I use only certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils during pregnancy and actually during any time, and why that's the only kind of essential oil I would recommend during this time of life. So there's a lot of benefit to therapeutic grade that has to do with keeping additives and fillers and synthetics out of the essential oil. And that, of course, is really important. We want to have the lowest levels of toxicity that we possibly can during pregnancy. And there's also the idea that we don't really know what they're adding. Like, it's kind of a mystery unless you get something certified of the kind of quality I'm talking about. Who knows what's in it? I know in the United States, the law here is that only 5% of what's in the bottle be what it says on the label. So if the label says organic jasmine essential oil, then it only has to be 5% organic jasmine oil. The rest of it could be synthetic jasmine oil. It could be another plant that smells similar to jasmine. And it could be a filler of just like something like coconut oil, you know, and not actually have what it says it has on the label. So that's a little suspicious. So I want to share a study that I read when I was putting together my e-course on this topic. And it was about pure jasmine essential oil compared to synthetic jasmine essential oil. And basically they had monitors on the people in the study. It was a double-blind study. And they were testing like stress levels, basically the sympathetic versus parasympathetic sides of our nervous system to see what the response was. So things like heart rate and respiration, like 4 markers for stress. And the long story told short is that the synthetic jasmine excited a stress response, while the pure jasmine made people rest and be calm and set them into like a repair state of being. So this is really important. Like, and they were just inhaling the oil too. A lot of the ones that you use during pregnancy, you'll use topically, but don't underestimate the impact of inhaling impure essential oils. That also affects your body and your neurotransmitters and your heart rate and a lot of things. So that's one thing, is we want them to be non-toxic. Another thing that's really important that I resonate with a lot, because my background is in herbalism and I've done a lot of wildcrafting and growing of plants, and you're always trying to have the most robust profile of medicinal constituents possible in the plants that you're working with. And it's really important to start with like a great source for the plants, and then to make sure the growing conditions are like organic, or they're not using synthetics. They're creating like the best possible environment for healthy conditions. And then beyond that, even if you have an amazing plant substance, you have to have processing methods that are meant to maintain the integrity of the plant. So if you cut corners, or if you don't have the right kind of equipment, you're going to lose out on a lot of the medicinal properties. And that's really important if you want to have an oil that works for everything you need it to work for. So I'd say a really important part of therapeutic quality is not just synthetic or like what you're not going to get from the toxins, but also what you are going to get. This level of efficacy where it's going to work, where you're going to say, oh, I knew lavender I could put in my bath and it would smell good and help me relax, but I didn't know I could put it on my sunburn or in my open wound to heal. I didn't know that I could put it in my tea and drink it. That's a different level of quality you're going to get with these certified pure therapeutic grade oils compared to grocery store organic oils. So another thing that I want you to keep in mind is companies like doTERRA, who I use, they have great relationships with the growers. They've sourced these oils all over the world, and they care about the environmental impact of harvesting them. So while you can create a really high quality, amazing, beautiful, non-toxic oil without these things, this is important for a much larger perspective on how we want to relate with people all over the world and what we want to do to take care of the earth. So I encourage you to appreciate this quality as well, and to look for this in a lot of things that you buy.